There will be some impact, but I don't think it will be that big.
The 200,000 plus cars on the market are very strong and they will sell no less than NIO.
We still pay more attention to the market in which Ladao is located.
Our peers are all very good. You see, Xiaomi, Li Auto, Zeekr.
The market for 200,000 plus cars has many excellent products. This principle does not work in itself. This is indeed what we are more interested in.
So just yesterday, NIO CEO was asked the question, will Onvo impact NIO sales and hurt NIO sales? And he answered this question spectacularly. He said that there will be some impact, but of course, they're more worried about whether or not Onvo will be successful in the market that they're in with the amount of competition that they have. Of course, they are very confident that their product is excellent, especially with the fact that it can do battery swap. But, that is their primary concern. But we could see it hurt NIO's sales as well. So don't pull that off the table yet. But what is NIO doing about this? All right. So NIO CEO said back many months ago that in the future, the average selling price of a NIO vehicle will actually increase. All right. Right now, they've announced the ET9. In the future, they're going to cut the ES6, the ET5, ET5T models, and leave that proportion, the price range for the Onvo brand. And for the NIO brand, focus more on the 7 and above, the more expensive vehicles. So a lot of you guys were worried that, hey, removing the ES6, ET5, those are the best sellers. That's going to really hurt NIO. Well, it would be very competitive if that was competing against the Onvo L60. So in that sense, they're moving that car essentially onto the Onvo brand. The Onvo is going to cover that area of the market, and NIO is just going to be purely on premium, luxury, great service, etc. More expensive vehicles. The mass market vehicles are left for Onvo brand. Now, of course, they're not getting rid of the ES6 and ET5 and ET5T right away. No. They're going to continue selling this for at least 2 more years. And they're going to gradually on the 3rd gen platform, all right, NT 3.0, they're probably not going to release the ES6. They're going to have all these 7 and above cars, ET7, etc., on the 3rd gen platform. And that's going to be excellent. All right, so it's still going to be around for quite a while, okay? And I think NIO investors should be super bullish with these changes that are coming, removing the ES6 and ET5, because of the fact that NIO has very high expenses when it comes to service for these premium NIO cars. All right, that's something that you guys might have overlooked. All right, NIO has excellent service. NIO is well known for its service, but it just doesn't make sense to offer that service to these cheaper vehicles when they're not paying up, right? So with the Onvo cars, of course, you're not going to get such good service. If you want such good service, you got to pay up, pay much more money, and buy an ET7 or above, meaning that in the future, most of these ES6 buyers, 2 or 3 years down the line, they're going to be Onvo buyers. And Onvo buyer means a less service cost for NIO per customer. So this is excellent. That's going to really help with the profitability sense, because NIO does lose a lot of money on the service aspect. Providing all these great services, for example, pick up the car, like free maintenance, free repairs with the insurance package. The insurance package has been a loss leader for NIO. They recently changed that, so that's good. But you get the point. I mean, they have a lot of perks for NIO owners that just doesn't make sense if they're buying a cheap car. Now, will the Onvo cars have a huge impact on the NIO sales? Well, NIO CEO said there will be some impact, okay? But here's my full take on it. I think that the naming and everything intentionally places this car at a tier below NIO, okay? And it's pretty obvious with the naming. And if you want luxurious, people that have status, they would probably buy a NIO. But people that search and really want features and specs, these guys, and they don't care about status and luxurious and premiumness. These guys will buy an Envo for sure, even if NIO is the proper brand for them. Like they're very wealthy, but they want the features and specs more than they want premium and luxuriousness and service. So again, NIO brand is going to be more of a personalized, customized vehicle. You have lots of different choices you can make in terms of colors, interiors, what you want, what you don't want in the car. Whereas for the Envo car, it's going to be just mass market, and everybody's going to be buying the same car. It's not going to be as personalized as a NIO. Of course, at the end of the day, in my opinion, even if it does take some of the market share from NIO, it doesn't really matter because Envo car is going to sell tremendously well, in my personal opinion, because a lot of people, they want specs, they want a cheap price. That's the thing that really boosts deliveries. All right, BYD's cars, they're selling well because they're cheap and then they're functional, right? Even though some of them have a lot of problems, and other cars, why do they deliver a lot, and why do the deliveries of those cars falter? It's because when they launched, they had a cheap price, very competitive specs, but then over time the specs kind of got older, and newer cars from other brands had better specs at a cheaper price. So why would I still buy that car? Well, for NIO, of course, with Envo, there's battery swap, so you can always rely on battery swap to be the selling factor for the Envo cars, and because it's quite cheap, relatively compared to a NIO, rumored to be 180,000 RMB with battery rental, which is affordable by everybody. All right, everybody can afford that basically. So that just means that there's going to be a lot of sales. All right, the Model Y buyers will probably also consider this car. A lot of people have been saying, if it gets better energy efficiency than the Model Y, then that is something to pay attention to. So definitely this is getting a lot of hype from people all over China. People are really looking forward to this. Even at the auto show, while I was there, I was eavesdropping. I heard some people talk about how they really wanted to check out the Envo cars, and they were just talking. And they weren't even at the NIO booth. They were just wandering around, walking. All right, and I was walking next to them, and it was like, wow, this is incredible, right? Lots of people are interested in this. And even for Xiaomi cars, there are some very wealthy people that bought Xiaomi cars, Xiaomi SU7, even though it doesn't match their family status. Some people just like the car, right? So it's perfectly fine for it to have some impact on the NIO's sales, and I'm expecting it to have some impact. But that shouldn't be any concern, because at the end of the day, NIO's going to earn more money. NIO's going to become more profitable with lower cost of service. And this is really going to help NIO become much more of a bigger company and bring the cars to more people. There's going to be more battery swaps. So this is just going to really be a net positive for NIO shareholders, for NIO company in general. All right. So don't worry about that at all. All right. There will be some impact though. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.